watching The Daily on Shaw TV, Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and today we are at Christ Community Church on Bowen Road in Nanaimo because there is a concert going on. Together is Amazing. Fill the Foodbanks 2012 is in full swing, and I know that when you're watching this on Monday or Tuesday, it's too late to come out to the Saturday concert, but it's not too late to get involved and help feed families in Canada who don't get enough to eat on a regular basis. TogetherIsAmazing.com is a great place to start. We'll have more on the concert tonight and Together is Amazing on this edition of The Daily. Also in the lineup, Kevin Stobo was here trying to turn himself from a spud into a stud, getting his butt up off the couch and finally getting some much needed exercise. We're going to head down to Victoria. Karen Elgersma is embracing cruise ship season. Ever wondered what it's like to take a world cruise? Well, we're going to show you exactly what it's like on this edition of The Daily. We also have another good news installment for you, as well as a couple in Nanaimo who have taken over the Princess Royal Gardens and turned it into a wonderful place producing fresh vegetables, fresh produce for families in Nanaimo who need it. You're watching The Daily on Shaw TV, Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and today we are at a benefit concert at Christ Community Church in Nanaimo. Together is Amazing. Fill the Foodbanks 2012 is in full swing. There are lots of ways that you can participate, and we'll give you detailed information on how you can do just that later on this edition of The Daily. In the meantime, I'm here now with Dale Manason. Dale, you're performing here at this event tonight on Saturday night, and you know firsthand what it's like to have to go to a food bank.
Yes, I certainly do. It was, we had a rough year in 1996, 97, and with a young family, 3 kids, and sometimes it was a case of do we pay the rent or do we eat? And more often than not, the rent won out over the food, and the food bank was definitely a godsend for us. We were living in Victoria at the time, so the food bank of choice was the Mustard Seed down, I guess they're just off Government on Queens.
There's a lot of misconceptions that people have about food banks. It's not just sort of people who are really down and out living on the streets. Certainly that does make up a portion of the people who need to use the services of a food bank. But you were surprised by who you saw in the lineups beside you, and even that you yourself were there.
Well, first of all, surprised I found myself there, and noticing the number of young families, professional-looking people, young men in suits and ties driving Beamers and other, or late model cars, and they were there just like the rest of us because they ran out of money before they ran out of month. And
it's underemployed, not
underemployed. Yeah, there was no fault of their own. It's just circumstances got a way on them, and like a lot of people in the world right now, you're 1 or 2 paychecks away from financial disaster if something goes amiss.
What did that do for your self-confidence, having to go to a food bank?
It was rough. It was really rough, but I had to really hand it to the staff at the Mustard Seed especially. They were very generous, very gentle, very sweet, spirited people, and they're definitely there to help those who are genuinely in need. Of course, there's always the scammers, and that's the unfortunate thing about anything like that, where you have a free whatever. Somebody will obviously try and take advantage of it, but they even handled the scammers with a really sweet disposition. And the pastor at the Mustard Seed Street Church, which is who ran the food bank at the time, was Tom O'Shiro, and he was probably one of the most gentle men I've ever met.
I think a lot of the things you're saying about the Mustard Seed Food Bank could transfer up to Loaves and Fishes here in Nanaimo, and of course they are one of the recipient food banks for Together is Amazing. We're going to move on fairly quickly, but first, who are these guys behind you?
Oh, these are a bunch of good friends of mine on the I guess that would be our right. Mr. Dave Ryerson, also known as Country Dave Ryerson. He's a busker down on the harbor in Victoria. On bass, but he's over there playing with my banjo right now, is Martin Matichuk. Brian Thompson, a fellow I just met, he's from Cobble Hill area, which is where I'm living right now as well. And a good friend, Gordon Shaney, who is and also a professional sound technician.
You guys are just kind of jamming tonight to raise some money for Together is Amazing?
I called these guys up on a whim. and said, would you be interested in doing this? And everybody said, yes, for sure.
And you did volunteer your time as well
Yes,
at the food bank.
We don't, oh, I volunteered, yeah, in Victoria for sure.
And you're volunteering tonight to raise some funds and some food.
We're hoping that we can pack out the place, and definitely the proceeds go to the Loaves and Fishes.
Excellent. Thank you, Dale.
Oh, thank you.
We'll have more information at the end of this edition of The Daily on how you can support your local food banks, whether you're in Nanaimo or Parksville. Qualicum will have detailed information there. Don't forget that you can always visit togetherisamazing.com. It's a website that is set up to help put food on the tables of the more than 900,000 Canadian families, just like Dale, who don't get enough to eat every month on a regular basis. We're going to throw things down now to Victoria. Karen Elgersma has some information, the sights and the sound, because cruise ship season has started. You are watching The Daily on Shaw TV, Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, and tonight we are at Together is Amazing, Fill the Food Bank's benefit concert for Loaves and Fishes. Now, if you've missed this event on Saturday night, don't worry. There's lots of other events coming up that you can participate in by donating money, donating your time, or donating food to benefit food banks throughout the central Vancouver Island region. This is Peter Sinclair. He's the Executive Director at Loaves and Fishes. Tell me a bit about the demand on your facility.
We see a tremendous need. We're seeing upwards of 2,000 people come to us each week just to meet their basic food needs. It works out to 1 in 25 people in Nanaimo accesses the food bank.
Now, we did hear from Dale, one of the musicians performing tonight, a little bit earlier, and he himself was a user of a food bank and didn't expect himself to be there and was surprised by the types of people that he saw in the lineup. Who in Nanaimo uses the food banks?
There really isn't a stereotypical person. We've got many people who actually work and are just unable to make ends meet. We've got people who have mental health and addiction issues. We've got people who are on a fixed income, whether they be elderly or students with student loans. There really is no standard food bank user, just many different people from many different backgrounds who need food and aren't able to make ends meet with what they have.
I think I'm probably in the position that many Canadians are, 2 paychecks away from financial disaster, and I'm trying to picture myself getting to the point of having to go to a food bank. Everybody thinks it won't happen to them. I'm starting to think, you know, it could happen to anybody. How do you handle someone? How do you interact with someone who is at a very vulnerable point in their life when they are coming to a food bank?
Well, we try and make it a welcoming place. We can see when people come in, they're often ashamed. We put them at ease and we tell them that it's not their fault. We tell them that we're here to help. We're not going to interrogate them, we're just going to help them. And the look of relief on their face when they hear that, it makes the job worthwhile. We do what we can for them. We direct them to other agencies that may be able to help them, and we set them up with some food so that they've got something to take home.
There's a big push for food donations at Christmas time. Here we are in early May, late April, and we're trying to put food banks and the action of donating to food banks at the top of everyone's mind. How important is it at this time of the year?
This is the time where donations are definitely down. January, the shelves are stocked because we've just come out of Christmas. By the time we hit April, things are getting a little sparse. Right now we're relying upon the cash donations that we have to actually purchase food to ensure that we have food for each one of our clients when they come to our door.
Okay, a cliche question. Money obviously goes the farthest. What else can people do to get the most bang for their donation?
There's certain items that we're definitely looking for. Cans of tuna, pasta sauce, basic staples. We try to stay away from junk food, so potato chips, sweets, pops, that sort of thing. So if it's healthy, nutritious, we can definitely use it. But as you mentioned, Kate, cash is best because we can purchase what we need when we need it.
And that's, I guess, where the fresh stuff comes in too, some fresh produce and milk.
Yeah, exactly. We spend over $8,000 a month purchasing milk to ensure that our clients get good, fresh, healthy milk. We also purchase fruits and vegetables. 2 weeks ago we purchased 1,800 cucumbers. So everyone got a cucumber when they came to Loaves and Fishes. So cash allows us to make those sorts of purchases.
Okay, cucumber, something perhaps that many of us take for granted. They'll be there when we open the fridge. That's not the case for many Canadian families. You can donate cash to Together is Amazing Field of Foodbanks 2012 by visiting togetherisAmazing.com. And you know what? You can go straight to the source too. You can check out Loaves and Fishes, and I did check out their website. You can donate directly to them online with cash as well. We'll be back with more ways that you can participate in Together is Amazing. But first, here once again is the man who likes his couch but is trying to get off of it, Kevin Stobo. Well, at least he keeps his sense of humor. You are watching The Daily on Shaw TV, Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen, here to tell you about, if you haven't heard already, Together is Amazing Fill the Food Banks 2012. There are way too many families, including kids in Canada, that don't get enough to eat on a regular basis, and Shaw and you and community partners can do something about it together. The campaign runs until May the 11th. There are lots of ways that you can get involved. TogetherIsAmazing.com is one of them. We're right now standing in front of Christ Community Church, and it is one of the outlets for the Loaves and Fishes Food Bank. They see more than 2,000 people accessing their services every week right here in Nanaimo. If you'd like to donate food or money, there are several locations across Nanaimo that you can do that. Thrifty Foods at Longwood Station, as well as Brooks Landing. You can also drop off food to Quality Foods on Bowen Road, right across from Christ Community Church, where we are at the moment. FAIRWAY Foods at Northtown Centre is accepting donations, as well as the 49th Parallel Grocery, that's on Cedar Road. And Costco is accepting your donation to Together is Amazing Fill the Food Banks 2012. We're almost to the end of this edition of The Daily, but before we go, there's a new national program that's currently underway, and there's maybe a chance for you to get involved. What are you doing with the summer? Not sure yet? Is there one big adventure or goal that you've never seemed to find the time or money to actually achieve? I can think of a few on my own list. I don't know if actually launching to the moon is possible yet. Maybe in my lifetime, though, you never know. But Shaw TV is looking for individuals to help make it happen. Check this out.
I'm going to be ready for my first fight.
This is the year I take my music and my hard work to the national stage.
I want to ride harder than when I was 20.
My wife and I are in our 50s. This year we plan to look and feel like we're in our 30s.
So don't let another summer slip by. Shaw could be able to help you turn your dream into a reality. Check out shaw.ca/makeithappen. I think I'm lucky enough that I get to live my dream job every day, hosting The Daily. But there's always that trip to the moon. I've dreamt of that since I was a kid, and I'm not convinced quite yet that it isn't going to happen in my lifetime. To the moon and beyond, baby! Thanks for watching this edition of The Daily. We'll see you next time.